big event coming up. Ramadan is happening, and so I have given you like a couple strategies to help you kind of maintain your health and fitness goals during this time, right? Because obviously we're only going to be fasting from dawn to I guess during the day basically, right? I just want to preface by saying like it's not going to be super easy, right? It's not going to be optimal either when it comes to like seeing optimal results, but we can still somewhat do our best during this time, right? So oftentimes like your caloric intake, like hitting your calories can be a challenge like during this time when you're just fasting the entire time. But considering that we're only eating 1800 calories, you should still have no issues really hitting your daily calorie goal. Now during this time, I'll definitely advise you, if you do have a hard time maybe like hitting your calorie goal, focusing more on like more calorie dense foods. Basically what that means is that like you get more calories, almost like more bang for the buck type of thing. So like for not as much volume, you get a lot more calories for that. So think of like your healthy fats, like your nut butters, your seeds, your oils. So if you notice that you do kind of struggle hitting your required 1800 calories, then you can definitely make some smaller substitutions within your diet, like adding more healthy fats to your meals, right? Because I have a lot more calories with like very little volume. Maybe switching up some of your protein sources. So instead of having like leaner sources of protein, like your cod, egg whites, chicken breast, you can maybe have like whole eggs instead of egg whites, or chicken thighs instead of chicken breast. Instead of like super lean ground beef, maybe have just like some regular ground beef, something like that, right? Like the small little food swaps can definitely add a lot more calories to just your everyday kind of diet, which just makes it easier for you to like kind of get the calories down, right? But like I just mentioned to you, because we're in a calorie deficit, maintaining your caloric intake should not be a huge challenge during a shorter, feeding window, right? This is personal preference, but what I would recommend doing is that as soon as you break your fast, so as soon as you have like your first meal, try to train like 1 to 2 hours after that. And now it's really important. And again, this is personal preference. Like if you don't want to do this, that's totally fine. It's just like a suggestions to keep in mind. But when you break your fast, it can be tempting to eat a massive meal, right? Just like balls to the walls, eat a bunch of food all at once. And that could obviously leave you in like a food coma. And that could just like leave you just feeling sluggish for the rest of the night, right? And so what I would want you to do instead, just to optimize your workouts as well, is that have a lighter meal to break your fast. So focus on some protein, very, really important. This will kind of get your protein synthesis going again, because when you're in a fasted state, you're actually going to be really catabolic, which basically means like you're in muscle breakdown mode, right? Which is not ideal when it comes to like maintaining your muscle. So first thing you want to focus on as soon as you break your fast is focus on protein, right? Think of like your protein powders, your fish, your steak, your beef, your chicken, all these stuff, right? So focus on protein. Like a quick digesting protein would be ideal. Maybe like a protein shake, 1 to 2 scoops of that. Probably 2 scoops has like 50 grams of protein. Then have some fruits maybe on the side, maybe like an apple, banana, something like that. And then right away, if you can, just to get your energy levels back up again, get that protein going, then try to go on over to the gym, right? Do your workouts. Try not to train fasted. Like that's going to be really tough. If you do want to train fasted, that's totally fine. But what I found is that just having something in your body can definitely help with your workout, obviously, as well, right? And now, when you do workouts during this time, cramping and fatigue may be a bit more apparent because you don't have like the nutrients, the liquids, the water intake. Like water is so important, and we're like trading like a dehydrated state. Cramps and fatigue could kind of like acutely rise up a lot more as well during this time, right? So that's just something to be careful for, and just something to kind of like expect. So if you notice that something like that is happening, just know that it is totally normal, because you don't have the nutrients or the liquids, the hydration to kind of like optimize your performance. So yeah, that's the first thing. And then again, of course, make sure you drink lots of water as soon as you can. When you do break your fast, right, with your protein shake, have a bunch of water. And then what I've done is I've actually reduced your training frequency just for this period of time from 5 workouts a week to just 4 workouts a week, right? So I don't want to be beating you up during this time, because you're in a really just like fragile kind of state when it comes to like low nutrients throughout the day. So just 4 workouts a week. And yeah, like I mentioned, when you break your fast, try to have like a lighter meal, because like I mentioned, the temptations can be pretty high. So this is honestly probably where the most amount of discipline for you will have to come into play, of like not stuffing yourself with a bunch of food when you break your fast right away, right? Be mindful, be diligent, still keep track of your food, dude. Try to hit your protein goals, and just be diligent when it comes to that, right? So protein shake and some fruit is a great way to kind of break your fast, and then train right after that. And again, if you have a hard time hitting the rest of your calories for the day, focus on more calorie dense foods, calorie dense meals like we've just discussed, like your healthy fats, nuts, oil, seeds, fattier cuts of beef. When it comes to your workouts, one last thing, try not to push yourself too much. So avoid super intense workouts. I know usually I have you from starting at 3 RER to 1 RER, right? Try to be within like the 3 RER zone for the next couple weeks or so, just at least for the first couple weeks, just to kind of see how you feel. And if you feel fine, then we can definitely ramp up the intensity. But start at the lighter kind of like intensity, and then we can work our way up again from there if you kind of feel good during that, right?